It's time to prove that money can open any door.
Welcome back to another video, Miraculous fans. There will be many videos discussing the future of Miraculous Ladybug on the horizon, thanks to the slew of information provided by Miraculous Corp's CEO, Andy Yeatman. In recent interviews, Yeatman teased that the series would soon make the leap into a multiversal franchise, spanning across numerous spin-off series and films. These new projects will also introduce a generation of teen superheroes ready to embrace their newfound powers and help the world become a safer place. Some of these heroes are even planned to debut in upcoming projects for Miraculous Ladybug. I wouldn't be surprised if a few of them appeared in the 6th season, if only to cross paths with Ladybug and Cat Noir. However, wherever heroes go, villains must follow. Otherwise, it wouldn't be much of a superhero story. In today's video, I'll discuss why some new villains should also debut in Season 6.
Outsmart me? Huh, Ladybug? We'll see who finds who first.
Number 1. The Expanded Universe. In his recent interviews, Yeatman claimed they want to create the next massive superhero franchise for the upcoming generation, starting with Miraculous Ladybug and moving outward. To accomplish this phenomenon, they're creating numerous films and series that coexist in the same universe, meaning all the characters have the chance to meet or interact in the main timeline. It also means that something that happens across the world in one series could appear in news broadcasts or by other characters in a completely different series. Miraculous Ladybug has already tested this impact and interconnection by allowing numerous heroes to cameo in the 5th season's finale as they all arrive in Paris to help protect Ladybug and Cat Noir. Yeatman claimed that many of the new characters will be teenage superheroes like the ones we already know. He claims they're relatable, complete with crushes, vulnerabilities, and friendships that will impact their personal lives and how they try to protect their homes. He makes a point to explain how these characters choose to help their communities and protect their loved ones with their newfound powers, leaving no room to doubt their good intentions. I find it interesting that no one developing these series has mentioned villains in similar details, as every superhero narrative requires an adversary to overcome eventually. Lila couldn't possibly be the main antagonist for each one of these overlapping narratives. So if new heroes appear in the 6th season of Miraculous, so should their adversaries.
The Prodigious? Do you know what this is? No, but if Hawkmoth wants it, I've got to stop him from getting it. You stay right here.
Number 2. Lila's potential allies. In his interview with Variety, Yeatman claims fans could expect Ladybug to introduce some of these new heroes into the franchise. He mentioned 2 by name, Lady Dragon and Stellar Force. Lady Dragon is a hero fans already know from Miraculous World Shanghai. However, it's unclear if Yeatman was referencing Fei Wu's character or an entirely new character by the same name. If it's the former, then Ladybug certainly introduced Lady Dragon into the franchise by becoming her ally and close friend. She even helped her learn about her father's death and embrace her role as the Prodigious's wielder. In contrast, Stellar Force is completely new to fans and remains a mystery. The most we know about them is that they're the titular character in the upcoming spin-off series, Miraculous Stellar Force. There's a possibility that they'll become a miraculous wielder based in Tokyo, who builds a team of wielders under the guidance of a celestial guardian. Again, as an experienced miraculous wielder who has saved the world numerous times, Ladybug would be the perfect character to help Stellar Force enter the franchise and discover the type of character they want to be. The heroes clearly have a history of helping one another, and it seems like Ladybug and the French superhero team will soon have global allies they can depend on during times of trouble. However, it wouldn't make sense to give Ladybug and Cat Noir dozens of allies only for Lila to have none. As of right now, she seems content to work alone and depends solely on herself. While I approve of this method because it makes sense for her character, I wouldn't blame her for changing tactics once she realizes how outmatched she truly is. The 6th season should introduce new villains capable of teamwork, if only to give Lila a fighting chance against the heroes.
Gabriel Agreste is Ladybug? That's not possible! Gabriel Agreste is dead! Gabriel Agreste cannot be Ladybug! Why did I write that?
Number 3. More complex storylines. Again, Yeatman claimed the new heroes would be relatable teenagers with vulnerabilities, crushes, and social lives. While I have nothing against these types of narratives, as I certainly love Miraculous Ladybug, having an entire multiverse built on the same premise can make these stories feel overused and exhausted. I know the will they won't they relationship between Marinette and Adrian was one of the main appeals of the Miraculous Ladybug franchise, but I'm not sure if longtime fans would want to sit through 5 more seasons of a similar story back and forth. One thing Miraculous Ladybug excelled in was having interesting adult characters that even a younger demographic could understand and sympathize with. I know many fans consider Gabriel irredeemable by the time he makes his wish with Gimme, but many fans turned against him due to his treatment of Adrian and not because of his ultimate goal to revive Emily. I had always understood his desire to restore his family to what it once was, and watching how grief ultimately changed him was heartbreaking. His relationship with his living loved ones became so complex near the end that I imagine Adrian's storyline in Season 6 will cover his contradictory feelings toward his father and his treatment. Natalie is also a fantastic example of the older characters having some of the most in-depth, thought-provoking, and convoluted storylines in the franchise. Although she began as Gabriel's overworked assistant, the audience gradually learned that working for Gabriel was more than a paycheck to her. Not only was she falling in love with Gabriel, but she was a close friend of his and Emily's long before they married and had Adrian. We then learned that Emily asked Natalie to prevent Gabriel from going overboard and to help raise Adrian, which adds another layer to her involvement with the Agreste family and his Mayura. She also has one of the best redemption arcs in the series, fully turning against Gabriel once she realizes how much his actions have hurt Adrian rather than help him. Miraculous Ladybug and their spin-off series should introduce more villains like this, who act beyond their crushes and teenage social lives and reach for something more significant. I love Adrianette, but it can pale in comparison when remembering that Gabriel was willing to rewrite the universe to reunite with his wife. Obviously, I don't agree with his actions or most of the things he did to achieve his goals, but one of the most engaging parts of the series was watching how far he would go to achieve them.
What do you wish for?
Read my heart.
What do you sacrifice?
Read my soul.
So be it.
Number 4. Pushing the limits of teenage-themed narratives. Granted, I don't want to push the narrative that all adults are bad. I think it's great that the new antagonist for Season 6 and beyond will be the same age as the heroes who would stand against her. While she isn't trying to revive a lost loved one or restore what her family once lost, that doesn't mean her ultimate goal for taking the Ladybug and Cat Miraculous won't be equally compelling. Currently, we know nothing about who Lila truly is, where she comes from, or what she wants. That mystery leaves the door open for Miraculous Ladybug to take her character in new directions. While she cares deeply about how others perceive her, Lila isn't spending her free time exploring Paris with friends, learning new things about herself, or chasing after her future relationship. By introducing other teenage villains, Miraculous Ladybug can push the limits of teenage-centered narratives. It's already done so a few times, and the response from fans is a good indicator of why doing so works. While the series is geared toward a younger demographic, children and preteens are capable of understanding more complex narratives and nuances when given the chance. This phenomenon is why Chloe's bait and switch has stuck with fans for years, and why Felix quickly changed from one of the most loathed characters to the most loved. By introducing new villains in Season 6, especially ones still learning about the world, the door opens for more anti-heroes and redemption arcs in the future, showing that anyone can recover once they've lost their way.
I look forward to seeing you again, Marinette Dupin Chang.
With so many announcements about future projects, there's no doubt in my mind that Miraculous Ladybug will introduce new villains in the future. While I can't say for certain if they'll appear in the 6th season, there's a high possibility that the series will act as the prologue for many future characters. If an aspiring villain happens to visit Paris and cross paths with Lila, they could become allies for years to come. If Ladybug and Cat Noir must venture to a neighboring country to help a new hero, they may encounter another villain as dangerous as Monarch. There are many ways Miraculous Ladybug needs to transition from a standalone franchise to a multiversal powerhouse, but introducing compelling villains is one of the most important components to any superhero story.
I may have failed him, but it's over. I'll find the answers all by myself. Marinette, you have to stay with me.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
My fellow heroes. From now on, each holder will be responsible for their Miraculous and their Kwami.